grab your fishing line, and you're going to want to grab your pliers and your jump ring pliers, and then you're going to take a couple of crimp beads, 2 of them, especially for the larger beads. I usually use 2. You're going to grab those and go to the end of the fishing line and slide that on, and then you'll pull it close to the end with a little bit of a gap and crimp that, and then you'll take and squeeze it, give it a little bit of muscle, get it nice and tight and secure. And then you're going to want to add your second one. Again, you don't have to do this, but it helps with security, and especially if you use large beads. You'll crimp that, make sure they're facing the same way, and crimp it closed just like before. And your crimp beads are on and secure. And now we want to add the knot cover or end cap. You want to go on the opposite end of your fishing line. Take your end cap, face it closing side to your fishing line, and slide it onto the end. Feed it all the way down to your crimp beads. And then you can just squeeze it shut. And then you'll want to take your pliers and just close any gaps, squeeze it closed, make it even, and there you go. And now you'll just want to string your beads on all the way towards the end cap. Once they're all on, it's time to put your other end cap on this opposite end. This time you'll face it the opposite way to put it on the fishing line. You'll go ahead and slide it on first before the crimp beads. And you'll probably want to get one of these boards. It is helpful, helps keep your beads secure so they don't move around when you're trying to secure the end caps and the crimp beads on. So you'll want to pull a little bit, but not too much, to close all the gaps in. You'll grab your crimp bead and you'll feed it onto the very end. Pull it all the way down. Make sure there's no gaps. Close any gaps that you might have. Don't make it too secure, but make it secure where there's no gaps. And then you'll grab the end of the line, and then your crimp bead, you'll pull it a little bit tight, but not too tight so that you can still move it, and crimp down on that bead with your pliers. Again, you'll have to give a little bit of muscle. Once it's secured, for the most part, you can pick it up at this point, and you can take your pliers again and just go and make sure that crimp bead is completely secure and that there's no missing crimped down pieces. And again, you'll go in with your second crimp bead and string that on all the way down. Make sure that it's facing the same way as the other crimp bead. And go in and crimp that down as well. Make sure you get all of the areas of the crimp bead. Sometimes you have to just work it a little bit, make sure you get all those little gaps, and then your knot cover is secured. You'll want to cut off the excess fishing line with a small pair of cutters so you can get down to the bottom Once you've done that, you can grab your pliers again, pinch it shut with your fingers, and then just take your pliers again and make sure that you squeeze it all the way closed and your ends are done. And it's flexible, but not too loose. Now we want to do the jump rings. So you grab your first jump ring and your lobster clasp. You'll want to put those together first. So grab your jump ring pliers, open up your jump ring, and slide that lobster clasp on to the jump ring, and then grab your pliers and twist it on. Once it's twisted, you're good and secure. You'll want to open that ring back up, grab your bracelet, and secure the jump ring onto that end and twist it on, and you're good. And then you'll want to put on your last jump ring, and this would be the one that you would put the chain on for the extender if you want to do that. You'll thread that on as well, twist it right on, and you're done. You can secure it together and add any extension that you'd like to add.